23 years, and this is what I've learned about romantic relationships. Ooh. I have been waiting to get to this part of this video because I struggle with this so much. I went through a lot of number one has to be relationships are not earned. If love was not demonstrated to you unconditionally growing up, you are gonna be almost thinking that love is something to be earned, something that you have to chase, something that honestly you have to work so hard convince someone to do. That is not healthy love, and that is not how healthy relationships are formed. So you shouldn't have to earn someone's trust or attention or to see the value in you. Love and relationships are not a goal that you chase after. They're not a thing that you just happen to achieve. It's not something that is earned. It happens because of mutual interest and mutual connection, and relationships are much more fluid than they are something that is black and white. When you have healthy experiences growing up with your parents, they just love you because you exist. They are supposed to love you just because you exist. If that is not your experience, you might fall into the trap where you have to earn it. For me, when I was younger, in middle school, high school, I used to think that if I just tried hard enough, that guy would like me. Did I even want to be liked by this person? Probably not. But because you are so not used to knowing what love actually feels like, you fall into the trap. You can't force someone into liking you. You can't force someone into appreciating you. You can't force someone to stay in something that they don't want to. You can't force anything on anyone in this life. You can't even force people to make better decisions for themselves, let alone do something for someone else. And I'm gonna tell you something, you shouldn't have to convince anyone. If you sit there and you are convincing people by, look at me, you're clinging on to showcasing to someone why you're so great, it's only gonna work on someone who's not that great themselves. A healthy person is never gonna view that desperation as attractive. That earning that you're thinking, if I just try hard enough because that's how I grew up looking at love, that's gonna look like desperation in real life. And we want to attract. We don't want to chase, we want to attract, because we're attractive. No matter how many times that you chase that person, if they don't like you, they are not gonna like you. And if you feel the sense to take someone's disinterest in you and then try even harder to convince them to like you even more when they clearly don't, you have to ask yourself, why do you want someone that doesn't want you? You have to ask yourself, what am I getting out of this interaction or by chasing someone that doesn't want me? Because that is some deep stuff that gets into the way that your attachment works and the way that you perceive love and the way that you think you should be loved. And I'm telling you, healthy love is reciprocal. The next lesson goes hand in hand. If you catch yourself falling into this trap, wanting romantic love so bad, and almost to a point where you're so desperate for it, which is totally fine. Been there, done that. Definitely not the place to be. And I'm going to tell you how to have a corrective experience. Learn to make good friends. Good friends are so important in this life. Good friends are so important. Let's say love wasn't modeled for you in the healthy way that we know to be growing up. You can have corrective experiences with friends, and you can learn how to communicate, how to be a good friend, how to handle heartbreak, how to grow, how to communicate with someone, all friendship, in a really good friendship. Friendships are so important because if you can't learn to be a good friend, you will never learn to be a good partner. Some of the most fulfilling relationships and romantic encounters that people have are literally based on the fact that they found a best friend in someone. And often people are referred to like, oh my god, I found my lifelong best friend. I found a person that I can talk to anything about, all that stuff. That is still on the basis of friendship. I like to think of friendships as a trial run that you get. Friendships require pretty much similar things where you have to learn to build trust. You have to learn some level of loyalty. You have to learn how to resolve conflict and how to talk to a friend when something doesn't work out or something you don't like happens. that are skills that you still need in a solid best friendship. And I'm telling you, some of the most corrective experiences I had growing up were my friendships, were people that were really good friends with me. Even when friendship didn't even last for years and years and years, my best friend just texted me. That's so funny. She's like, I know you're talking about me. But some of the best corrective experiences I had were friendships. He's distracting. If healthy love was not modeled for you growing up, learn healthy love and healthy relationships in friendships. The thing is, friends come and go, so you have all the time to kind of like experiment, try how to resolve conflict, how to build relationship skills through friendships as well. Friends can also call you out when you're being a little estúpida when it comes to something in a romantic situation. They can tell you no. They can tell you, hey, this is dumb. Hey, this person isn't right for you. Now, it is on you if you want to take that advice or not, but having really good friends makes you rich in this life. Okay, I have been waiting to get to this part of this video because I struggle with this so much. I went through a lot of self-sabotage. Honestly, embarrassed myself so much in my younger years in middle school and high school. And this is really important. Know the difference between lust, love, and limerence. What is it? Let's talk about it. Lust is when you just honestly think someone is cute and you're just like, wow, they're so cute, and your imagination is going, but it just goes to that extent. When the infatuation becomes excessive, when you can't stop talking about this person, when you're so desperate to get someone's attention, and you create this fantasy in your head about them, and none of it's real. You might not even know this person, right? And all you do is talk about them all the time, and then whenever you're sad, you're thinking about them, even though you know nothing about this person, mommy. Oh my goodness. I do not miss those days. You were going through something called limerence. Limerence is a sneaky ass. Limerence is obsession. It's not just a crush. You're fantasizing about them every day because you're trying to escape the unhappiness from your reality or whatever's going on in your life. If you've went through neglectful relationships growing up, or you didn't have enough love or attention growing up, and you're very OCD or like compulsive and anxious, and you need a lot of like positive reinforcement, you are like top candidate for this. Top candidate for this limerence bug to attack you. And limerence, you can be stuck there for 1 to 7 years. There are some people that obsess over someone for years, and I'm gonna tell you, I was this girl in middle school, high school. Woo! And man, it makes you into someone that you don't want to be. Your brain just one day picks someone that you might not even know sometimes, or you barely know and barely interacted with, and you're just like, oh my god, you're like, whoa. And I'm just like, bro, any glimpse of attention they give you, they might look in your direction, they might send you one text or whatever, and that's enough because you're clinging on to nothing. Allows your mind to just make up more and more scenarios. If you're young, you don't have sufficient self-esteem, it is a recipe for limerence. I highly suggest you look it up, because knowing what this was would have saved me so many years. And I want to say another thing. Part of what fueled my limerence when I was younger was actually the fact that I hung out with other peers that enabled it. So if a boy stares into your direction, that's enough for some of the girls I hung out with to say, oh my god, he really likes you. Wake up, Linda, wake up. I don't know who Linda is, but wake up. I promise you, if someone likes you, it's gonna feel safe. It's supposed to feel safe. It's supposed to feel genuine. It's supposed to feel sincere. You trust this person. You know this person. You know things about this person. If you just wake up and pick a person one day and you're like, oh my god, he's like so great, and you're like running on this high, you don't even know that. You don't know if he's smart, if he's kind, if he has goals. You don't know anything about this person. Your brain is hooked on obsessing about this person because it allows you to escape your reality. You are in limerence, and that is not a good place to be. So I highly suggest figuring that out, because honestly, you gotta build some self-awareness of why this is happening, if this is you. And I did a lot of introspection. I was like, why am I stuck on this guy that I know nothing about? And I couldn't answer that question. So a lot of times when we're younger, we focus on, oh my god, I hope they like me. Do you even like them? What's so great about them? I struggled with this for majority of my teenage years, and I'm glad that I was able to overcome it as I'm in young adulthood and overcame it pretty quickly, I would say. But just take a breath and think about it. Why do you like this person? Why? If your brain just picked them one day and it's going beyond a crush, and when you're bored and you're 17 and you're anxious and you don't know yourself, it is recipe for disaster. And I want you to know that take that energy and that obsession that you have over someone and over some boy or girl or whatever, and put it into yourself. Put it into your goals. Put it on who you want to be. Put it into your hobbies. Put it into your friendships. Do not cling onto someone because it brings you a moment of joy. And they might not even be giving you crumbs. That is not a healthy relationship. That is all you. Love is honest and real in reality. Limerence is fantasy. I did want to read something. This is a Reddit caption that explains it so well. At the true root of limerence are unmet needs. People with unhappy childhoods are more vulnerable to it, but there are a lot of ways unmet needs can lead you there. Loneliness is definitely the classic one, but not the only one. The secret sauce that turns unmet needs into limerence is fantasy plus obsession. Obsessive people are also more vulnerable to limerence. You have unmet needs, and your capacity for fantasy offers you escape from your unhappiness. You see another person as the answer to your unhappiness, and you become obsessed. Your capacity for fantasy allows this obsession to build a magnificent home for this obsession in your head, and over time, this fantasy becomes something to which reality can't compare. Your mind becomes addicted to the euphoria of the world you created, and putting it down forever becomes difficult even long after you know you will never make it happen. After a while, many people cling to the fantasies, feelings that they are all they have. Those who are able to find real happiness and break the addiction, though, can feel really wonderful, like they defeated something huge even though their tormentor was always themselves. I wish I had this when I was younger, because if you're obsessing over someone that has given you no reason, it is in your head. And I urge you to take those obsessive energies and fuel it into something that actually matters, which is yourself. I like to give myself that grace because I was young. But if you're like someone who's in their early 20s and you find yourself just obsessing and ruminating over someone that you don't even know, I really suggest that you look into it. Limerence is all you, it's not them. And love is both people. I'm not going to sit here and say I know all the answers of finding the perfect person, because I have not found my perfect person. But what I do think is really important is that focusing on becoming the best version of yourself will lead you to finding the best match for yourself. And if you want a certain level of standard or a certain type of person, you have to be that person first. These were the things I wish I knew earlier about love, and I hope this helps somebody, because man, I wish someone told me, but I learned the hard way. Anyway, girlies, this was Intellectual Baddies, where we talk about life topics while doing our makeup. I hope you like, subscribe, and comment down below if you had any of these experiences, and make sure, most importantly, you stay safe.